So you're gonna see in this section here that a calculator is going to come in handy. So you're going to want to be able to do stuff like that. And so when that happens, well, we'll just show you. Here we've got a local jackpot starting at $1,000 on Monday, and it increases by 10% every day. So if we have $1,000 here, 10% of 1,000 is well, 10% of that's 100. Okay, multiply, if we take 1,000 and we multiply it by 0.1, that just moves a decimal point over once and we're left with 100. But if it grows, it increases by that much, then we have that plus that, which would give us 1,100. And that might seem easy. Oh, well, just then it's 200, 1,200, 1,300, but no, because now 10% of this number is slightly different. 1,100 times 0.1 is now going to be 110. Okay, so we add that to this, and now we've got 1, 2, 1, 0. If I add 110 to 1,100, we've got the 210. Now this is when the number is going to start changing and start being slightly different every single time. 10% of this, if we again move the decimal over, we got 121. If we add 121 to this number, it's going to be 1,331. And so on and so on and so on. That number is going to, again, 10% of this times 10% is equal to 121. Sorry, 121. Add the 121 to this, and that's where that number came from. And this is where the calculator is going to come in handy. If we're the multiplier, if we think about 10%, some of us are going to want to say, oh yeah, that's just 0.1. Well, think about this. If you multiply this number by 0.1, is that going to give us that number? No, it's not. We want to be able to say that this is growing to that. And if I went back to here and I say, okay, well, how am I getting from here to here? Well, I'm multiplying by 1/2. One way of doing that is taking this number, putting it over that number. 4,000 divided by 8,000 reduces to 1/2. You take the next number divided by the previous number. We do that here. We take 1,100 and divide it by 1,000. All you're going to do is cancel a bunch of zeros. 10 goes into 11 1.1 times. Now let me explain what that 1.1 means in percentage form. That represents 110%, which is something your coaches will ask of you to give. Give 110%, which we really can't do. But if we think about 110%, we're looking at multiplying this by not only the 100% of what it started with, but the additional 10%, which is what we're increasing by. So what we want to do is we want to say this is a 1.1%. It's the initial 100% of what we started with plus the additional 10%. And that's going to be something that we're going to be doing throughout the course of this chapter. Let me show you on the calculator how that works. It works really well. 1,000 times 1.1 is 1,100. It's the 1,100. If I do that again times 1.1, it gives me my 1,210, my 1,331. And then on beyond that, I've got a 1464.1, and then my 1610.51, and then beyond that, we're going to have to round because in terms of dollar amounts, they're not going to really count that 1/100th of a penny, or 1/10th of a penny, I should say. So I'll move that over there. So what we'll call this is 1771.56, and we'll round off that 1. Okay. So writing an equation, since we've figured out our multiplier is this and our initial value is that, this should be the easy part once we've gotten to this point. There's 1,000, which is our initial value, times 1.1 to the n power. Now 4 weeks later, how many days have gone by when you're talking 4 weeks? Well, 4 times 7 is 28, but did 28 days really go by? Because, by the end of Sunday, only 6 days had gone by. So if we start on Monday, and I guess the arguments could be made that only 6 days had increased here, but then 3 weeks after that, there's another 21 days. So whether it's 27 or 28 days, you're going to get a pretty good idea. Let's plug it into the equation. 1,000 times 1.1 raised to the 27 days, which is really 3 weeks, 4 weeks of growth, where the first day counts as the 0 day, and so only 27 days of growth happened after 4 weeks. And if, arguments could be made that it's in fact 28 days. So whether you give me the 13,000 or the 14,000 version, I'm probably going to be flexible on how that works. 28 days, let's write 14,420 and 99 cents. Okay?